people. I was on YouTube watching some videos. I'm sorry I'm late. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for the watch hours and the subscribers, all you foxy ladies. You know, put your
So I sent a tech over to the house, and he found salmon, kale, and brown rice in a container in the refrigerator labeled dog food, all tested positive for strychnine.
Margaret. I know you love me. Hello, Jacob. How y'all doing today? You know, I almost forgot what time it is. Last time I looked at the clock, it was 8 o'clock. I've been watching videos. Goody, I'm glad everybody's doing good today. I took a couple of bags out of the house and dumped it out there. You know, since I don't have any dirt, I put that out there on top of a big rock to pipe in and kind of build that up, and I get me some dirt somewhere. Ain't that right, Margaret? Go take you a cold shower. You need to go take you a cold shower. Yes, you do. You need to go take you a cold shower. Hello, granddaughter. How you doing? It's fine. Thursday. I had to look at the calendar to see what day it was. No.
At home, I'm worried for my mother. A lack of sleep due to bladder leakage affected her life. That's why I'm so glad the Purix system is available for home.
And people,
It's an innovative option for
people, I want you to follow your dreams.
This external system
Whatever your dreams are on YouTube or
to draw urine for weeks.
hello, Lip Official. How you doing?
The skin dry.
Welcome back, my friend.
We trust it to help her throughout the night, so we're all better rested and enjoy the things we love together.
Welcome. And people, we got a famous person on here tonight. She was on here last night. Her dream is being an artist. And it's Beatles dash 7K. Let me start all over again. It's Beatles dash 7 N7K. Beatles dash 7 N7K. And she's a Beatles fan. Plus, she's over in the UK. And I want you all go to Beatles dash November 7 kilowatt. Beatles dash N7K. Look at her drawings. She draws. You know, she's a good artist. She believes in God just like I do. Cause you gotta believe in God. See, God gives people special gifts sometimes. And God gave this young lady a gift to be an artist. So let's get her YouTube up. I know there's people, knows people, maybe over in the UK, where they can get her art in those studios where people can see her artwork. You know, that's her dream of being an artist. She's 10 times better than me. Yeah, my kitty cats is doing okay. Let me show. Here's Margaret. This is Margaret. She's doing her hoochie coochie thing. You know, she wants to have some more baby kitty cats, and I'm not having any more baby kitty cats in this house. No. And I just, you know, you people in the United States and countries, I want to ask you a question. Is there some kind of cat food?
A woman named Dolores Cloud filed 22 complaints with animal control about Duke's excessive barking.
That would make me want to kill the dog.
Yeah, especially since you live right next door. Did we talk to her?
Well, the uniforms knocked on our door during the canvassing, but she didn't answer.
Well, maybe we should knock a little louder.
Going somewhere?
Well, they use Social Security money, everything but what it's supposed to be used for.
Get my hair done, you can ask at the salon.
You got those illegals getting Social Security, and they're never paid into
I
it.
didn't like your damn dog because he barked.
And if I remember young, if those young girls had babies, they got Social Security or something from the government
I know what's going on here.
and kept popping kids out.
Did you?
I have been complaining
It
about-
sounds like $255. I think that's probably pay for a funeral. If the spouse ain't not drawing Social Security or SSI, but if the spouse is drawing it, they can get what they call survivorship. You know, they get their spouse's Social Security plus their own Social Security. And like my ex-wife, she gets more than I do. She gets $800 a month more than I do. Because she lost her husband a few years ago.
I just talked to the woman this morning.
Okay, Jacob, take it easy.
She didn't want to have a baby.
And people, you know,
Apparently Duke is like the LeBron James.
if I was retired in the 70s, I could live on what I get right now.
It was the perfect place to sell his services.
But
Angry enough to kill?
what
Not angry, but with an alibi.
I get a month, time I pay all my bills, my house payment, my car insurance, my utility bills, and cell phone bill, I buy over 100 pounds of dry cat food. It's hard. It is hard. I can't afford no more payments. You know, I could use a new riding lawnmower. I can't afford the payments. I need to put a new roof on my house. I can't afford no more payments. I think there's people out there that you can get help to do that. And I might have to check with them on the roof part of it.
It's IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess is not a laxative. It's a once daily
But,
pill that helps
You know, I got my faith in the God. God will help me out. It just takes time. You know, God helping me to get monetized. He's helping me get my subscribers up, and I can use that money to put a metal roof on my house, which the way
Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn how Abby and I can help you say yes.
I know, not everybody can help.
Every day.
Not everybody can help.
Just like me, are able to do things.
You know,
When you go to-
there's government agencies out there
You're
that
providing
can help.
independence to those who need it most. Providing children that access to independence that they
And
have never had before. It's
thank you for the hearts, people.
I will start crying.
You know,
Never-
one day I will. I got,
Great job.
the last time I looked from what I see, I got 2 layers of asphalt shingles.
When you say yes to giving just
And where my porch is, it was added on to the house before I bought it. And with the snow and everything, I got a few leaky spots on my porch. I'm gonna have to take the inside off where I can see what I have to replace. You know, I know I'm gonna have to replace some plywood. Here's the bad part about it, people. I don't have a pickup truck to haul what I need in plywood. So I'm in a boat without a paddle, I guess you could say. And, you know, I'm trying my best. Like, foxy ladies, there's a bunch of foxy ladies. But the one is my ex-wife. She said, stop asking people for money. Well, you know, it don't hurt to ask. I watch other videos. There's this lady, I'm going to call her Turtle Lady. She's in Florida, Levy County, Florida. I know God will help me get through it. You know, people, you just have to believe. Be kind, help people, be polite, because God will reward you. Just like your rich people out there. God helped you to get rich. God can take it away from you just as fast as he gave it to you. You know, that's my opinion. And my ex-wife asked me, because where we used to live, I ain't going to say the street or anything like that. We had a big, what you call a big flower pot in the middle of the, I guess, cul-de-sac. You know, you go up, go around the concrete pot, and go right back out the same way you came in. And I guess the ex-wife and me, we plant flowers. I think it was mums, because we planted a whole lot of mums in our yard, on the hill, out there in that big flower pot. But I told her that flower pot is not there anymore. The city of Charlestown tore it out. But here's the problem with that, people. Charlestown, Indiana is good for it. It had a pin in the middle of it where for your survey of all the houses. Well, when they took that out and the dirt out and the concrete blocks that went around it, they dug out the surveyor marker like they did where my mom and dad lived, they put a new water line in the back part of the property, and they dug the property markers out. You know, and without those markers, you can't find out where your property is. But where mom and them live, the idiot at 116 stole 10 feet of my mom's property. You're right there too, granddaughter. Settle down. Go take you a cold shower. You kitty cats, when you this time of the month and you're in heat, I get hurt. I get hurt by you all. You jump, you start using your claws, and your claws are like knives. And, but, when I get busy doing something, Margaret's in the heat, and next week, I don't know which cat will be in heat. It could be Alex, it could be Wildcat, it could be Kathy, it could be Alexi. It's, they all don't come in at the same time. But Margaret is a good mother cat. But I can't afford the food anymore. I go through over 100 pounds of dry cat food a month. The inside cats, they might get tuna fish once a week, or maybe some hamburger, or some pork chop meat, or eggs. They usually, they get fed better than the outside cat. But the outside cats, you got the birdies, you got the mice, you got the squirrels. They can earn their extra treats outside. These dumb idiots, I haven't seen them catch it. I got a mouse in the house, usually it stays in the kitchen. But my mouse catchers is all dead. These idiots, I don't think they will catch a mouse. I don't think they're good mouse catchers. I ain't seen them catch a mouse yet. But all my other cats, they was good mouse catchers. But people, you live out in the country, you're gonna have mice. You're gonna have moles. I walk out in the backyard. I went and got the wheelbarrow. Because all I could do, because I got the old, ouch! That hurt. Cop picker. Think I'm a pin cushion. I told you I get abused by these kitty cats. You see my legs, my belly, sometimes my arm. I got scratches all over me. I wonder if I had a girlfriend, I wonder what she would say if the kitty cat slept in bed with us. I wonder what she would do. I know there's people on this planet that let their cats or dogs sleep in the bed with them. You know, I love my kitty cats. You know, hello, Doctor Who. Yeah, I got one. So far, in the last 30 days, there's been at least maybe three of the four cats. You know, they drive me crazy. I don't know why, but they keep me on my toes. They keep me on my toes. Any animals you got inside, they keep you on your toes. They let you know if there's something wrong with you. You just have to pay attention. If you live on a farm, you got farm animals that let you know when you feel bad. They can just tell. And on the weather, it got up to about 60 today. And I saw earlier on TV at the top of the screen, they got a tornado watch. Or is it a warning? Oh, watch, one of the two. North of us, maybe around Indianapolis area, which is about maybe 50 to 100 miles north of me. Got a tornado watch going on. They just severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado watches in effect until 9 p.m. tonight for, you know, within 50 miles of me. You know, that puts it up around Seymour, Brownstown area. In Indianapolis, Indiana area. I know it's supposed. That's what they said, doctor. That it's supposed to drop down to 30 tonight. I better turn my heat back on because I just flipped my switch off. I did have the air conditioner on a little bit today because it got hot in this house. And I can't breathe when it's hot. And it went up to 45 miles an hour. And people, I'm glad I live down in what they call a valley. I got trees to the west of me, the south of me, east of me, and the north, because I really don't catch that much wind. You know, I got those, what they call leaf filters on my gutters. And they said, well, you don't have to climb your ladder up there and clean your gutters out. Here's the thing they don't tell you. If you got trees around you, that wind, those trees will block the wind to blow those leaves off of those filters. That means you got to get up there 2 to 5 times a year and clean those leaves off of those filters. Now, that's a fact. They showing pizza on TV. Hello, Miss Marie. Hello, my good friend. How you doing? I hope you had a good week this week. Tomorrow's the weekend. It's Friday tomorrow. Hello, Jessica. I saw a video today of you. You were singing again. Yeah, people. You see Jessica on the. It's Jessica Ralston, Ralston 211. And I want you all subscribe to her YouTube. Oh, Southeast Asia. That's right. I couldn't remember. That's what happens when you get 71 plus years. You forget. So Asia is a good country. I've been watching some videos about Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, and all them other places over in Asia. And, just like here in the United States, we got places that look like dumps. Not as bad as they got in Asia. I seen like they living in boxes. That's not the term, but they got the garbage out in the street and stuff like that. I don't know what part of Asia it is. I think they said if you was over there, you could marry one of those Asian women. I've seen a few videos. I call them squeeze boxes. You move it back and forth. You got a keyboard. Yep, everybody got problem area. Asia, Canada, Russia, they all got, bad areas, just like we do. But I like to watch Miss Marie's video because that shows her country. Her country has changed since the 60s and 70s during the Vietnam War. It has changed. And I've seen some of those videos of Asia that Americans is living there because when their time was up from the service, they decide to stay in Asia. Because the way the American people treated the service when they came back home. And I wouldn't want to come home. If I was in Asia back in my younger days, I probably have 10 to 30 children, same as grandkids and great-grandkids. They're beautiful women over there in Asia and the Philippines. I know American that went to the Philippines. I don't know if you all remember Coast to Coast. Quebec, Canada is a good place to visit. Not right now, because up there where 709 is, they got 24 plus inches of snow on the ground. That's too much snow for me. In Alaska, they got a bunch of snow. And, 2 or 3 inches of snow, it's not bad. But when you get 8 to 24 inches every time it snowed, nope, I couldn't hack it. But, I'm going to make a road trip tomorrow. I'm not going to say what time a road trip. Got to go to the bank. My son needs to get some paperwork. From there, we have to go to the food stamp office. He got to drop some paperwork off. Then from there, go to Charlestown, pick up the mail. Then to the JC store, and he got some medicine to pick up. Then we come back home. Means I'm going to be wore out tomorrow. It's kind of like a capital city, but Jeffersonville is right there on the river, close to Louisville, Kentucky. Clarksville, Jeffersonville is right there on the river. And the food stamp office is is in the Quadrangular, the old government depot. Yeah, I got to do all that driving. It wears me out. I'm going to be wore out tomorrow. And if I don't get on here tomorrow, I'm taking a long cat nap because round trip, you looking at maybe 60 miles. It takes a lot out of this old man. While we go to the bank, I sit out in the car. While we go to the food stamp office, I'm sitting in the car. But yeah, I'm just letting you all know. If I'm not on here tomorrow night, I'm sleeping because it does wear this old man out. It does wear me out. I like getting on here because you're my family. You're my family. I can talk to you. You leave comments. I try to help. Yeah. I usually got some kind of shirt on because people complain if I don't have a shirt on. I can see the point. This got the sleeves cut out of it. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. But when I'm in bed, I don't like having a shirt on. It feels like I'm in a straitjacket. Everybody complains about everything. Even if you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you complain. You got pets, you complain. You know, I got a few tattoos, but I ain't gonna tell you. You know, I was stupid. I was stupid. I didn't have tattoos done by a tattoo person. You know, I got me a needle with a string, got me some Indian ink, you know, draw everything out, you know, the name and I use Indian ink and it's stupid. Like one of my daughters, she got tattoos all over her body. I think she got her grandma on her mom's side. She got her grandpa and grandma on my side. I think she got her stepdad on her too. You know, if I had the money, I'd probably cover a couple of my tattoos up. You know, I would do that. You know, maybe, you know, I got an old girlfriend's name tattoo, you know, like an idiot when I used to drink alcohol, which I've been sober from alcohol and drugs 25 plus years. And I watched a TV show. What's the name of it? Monkey something. They rebuild cars. Monkey mechanic, monkey something. And I've noticed that car that they was working on. It was a 1978 Oldsmobile Cutlass. Foxy Lady, the ex-wife Foxy Lady. That's what I rented to drive on the honeymoon. I think it was green 78 Oldsmobile Cutlass that we took on a honeymoon. That was in 78. And I believe she'll let me know that I think we went either to Nashville or Memphis, Tennessee. It was either a Howard Johnson or a Holiday Inn, one of the two. Like I say, I'm going back a whole lot of years. You know, 1978. And she is a foxy lady. Will I ever marry her again? Nope. Nope. Might live with her, but me getting married again, that won't happen. No, I got two scanners going. One, the antique one. The antique one is the airplanes, trains, amateur radio, GMR radios, and stuff like that. And some of those old fire department frequencies, because they all, since what happened on 9/11, all police departments, all the United States police, fire, EMTs, they all went to what they call the P25 800 digital scanners. That way, as you all remember 9/11 in New York, that when the planes hit the Twin Towers, you have all the different police departments, you have all the different fire departments, you had all the different ambulance, they're always on different radio frequencies. That's how come our government made them to go to P25 800 digital, where you just have one radio and you can talk to any police department, fire department, ambulance. All you need is just one radio. Which those P25 800 digital radios, they're not cheap. You're looking at over $1,000 for each unit that they put in the police cars and the ambulance. They ain't counting their walkie-talkies. To buy you a scanner to listen to it, it's going to cost you about $1,000. Hello, my other Jessica. Welcome. I can understand the police when they talk, but I listen to airplanes, I listen to trains, and the trains, I don't know what they're talking about 90% of the time. I've only been listening to trains probably the last 7 years. And the airplanes, I kind of know exactly what they talk about, a little bit. Margaret, hush. Go take you a cold shower. But like the police, they don't put everything over the radio like they used to. When they switch over to the P25 800 digital, sometimes they use the 700 frequencies or the 900 frequencies. They got computers in the car. And you're not going to hear everything on those P25 800 digitals, because all they have to do is kind of glance at their computer, which to me, under the law, in my book, my opinion, like we people, we can't drive and talk on our cell phones. We can't text while we're on our cell phones. But the police, they can look at their computer. They can type on their computers when they're driving. I don't see any difference between that and talking on the cell phone. You still have to take your eyes off of the road to type something into your computer. Shut up! You're getting on my nerves. Well, that shut her up. Sorry about that, people. Hey, Foxy lady. I told you where to go to find my email. But I'm going to tell you because I know you probably watch this later. It's tcartwright54@gmail.com. Email me and I email you back on questions that only you and me would know. Nobody else would know. You know, where did we live when we lived in Charlestown or this or that, you know. Or where did you used to live? Well, I don't care if you're older, you know. I have dated women up to 50 some odd years old. You need to get you some videos. I've lost a whole lot of weight in the last 2 years, but I'm putting it back on. You know, I was 44 around the waist. And, you know, weighed about 240, something like that. That's okay. You know, you're handicapped too. Possible tornado forming somewhere in Illinois. Man dead after shooting in Camp Taylor neighborhood in Kentucky. See what the temperature is. 60. It says it's 64 outside right now, people. There's always somebody getting killed. Getting killed in Kentucky, especially Louisville. And probably California and LA, San Francisco, up in Chicago, Illinois. There's people dying every day. And people, let's stop killing each other. I know when I was young, it used to be white people killing black people. Now it's black people killing black people and white people killing white people. Let's stop all of it. And Sorry about that. I had to yawn. And I'll probably asleep until 9, 10 o'clock. The last couple of days, I've been sleeping until about 9 or 10 o'clock, which to me, that is pretty good. And I usually got most of my cats in here on the bed. Most of my outside cats knows I don't bring the food to them until about 9 or 10 o'clock every morning. I sit outside tonight at supper time and fed my outside cats some tuna fish. That was good. I'm missing 2 orange cats. They must be out catting around since it's been warm. They're out catting around. There's 2 orange tomcats. They ain't been out there maybe a week, I think. They wasn't out there this morning. They wasn't out there tonight. I hate these smart TVs because you be watching it and all once it goes back to the main menu. And I don't know why it does it. Or sometimes it turns the TV off. And as long as I don't hit the mute button, I'm okay. If I hit the mute button, the TV does shut off after so long, or I watch YouTube on the TV and it shuts off. And I did find out one of the judges here in Clark County, Vicky Carmichael, he is going to run for the mayor of Jeffersonville. She's been a judge over 25 years, maybe 30 years, I think, as a judge of a Clark County court. She make a good mayor of Jeffersonville. See, her husband, he's a lawyer. He's a retired police officer from, where did he retire from? Miami, Florida, I think what he retired from. Iran. People, since they show that on the news, I got a feeling we gonna get in the war with Iran. No. That's what I think gonna happen. Americans will get killed. People in Iran gonna get killed. I'm tired of people getting killed in war. I might watch the Beverly Hillbillies tonight. I didn't watch them today. I didn't watch no Hillbillies on YouTube today with Granny, Jazz, Jethro, Ella May, and the Drysdales. I like watching the Hillbillies. I like to watch some of the old TV shows. Bat Matchison and Have Gun Will Travel. You know, oh, there's a pretty blue truck. Oh, it's a Chevy truck. Up around St. Louis. Man, I can't afford to go out and buy me a new pickup truck. The price they got on these new pickup trucks, you could buy your house. You're looking at $50,000 to $200,000 for a pickup truck. I don't want to buy a house. I don't have a house. Why would I want to spend $50,000 on a pickup truck? If I was going to buy a pickup truck, I would buy a Jeep pickup truck. I kind of like Jeep because they do hold the value on a pickup. You know, Jeep does. They hold the value. Since I don't drive 10,000 miles a year, if I was to die, you know, my son could sell it and still make plenty of money. Trump pushing for Iran nuclear weapons deal. People, I don't usually watch the news, but after the news goes off, I watch Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert or the other one. Let's see. Man, if it's going to be a war, it's going to be a war. No. There's too many people living on this planet. You know, what was it? Japan, China. When you get married, you can only have one kid, and that's all you can have. But now I think you can have more than one kid in Japan and China, I believe. But I can't afford any more kids. Let me turn my, let's see, figure out which button. And switch to my outside camera, see if it's raining outside. Because people, it's so quiet in my house, I cannot hear if it's raining. Well, I don't see any rain. I don't see any kitty cats on my porch. But people, I hope everybody's doing good today. I want to thank you all who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for helping me get my watch hours up. Other people that got the watch hours, they get super chats. I wish I could get super chats. That way I can put a new roof on my house. I can get a new riding lawnmower where I can cut my yard. Things like that. Okay, here's a question I want to ask you people, especially your ladies. Okay, I'm thinking about buying some paint. Well, this bedroom is kind of black. It's going to stay black. I'm thinking of painting my bathroom kind of yellow is what I'm thinking. What kind of yellow? I don't know. My kitchen and living room, I'm thinking some kind of blue for the kitchen and the living room. I don't like white. I don't like white. That's what my living room is right now. It's white. And I just don't like white. And I'm thinking some kind of blue. I haven't decided what kind of blue. Or maybe a gray. But I'm thinking the bathroom, since it's small, I'm thinking some kind of yellow. It's small. You got a sink, you got your toilet and your bathtub. And right in front of you where you sit down to use the toilet, your sink. Which to me, that's really too close to the commode. In my book. I'm working cleaning up my living room. I cleaned the cat box out, took the big bag of my horse pellets out of the trunk. I guess it was yesterday or today. Probably yesterday. Instead of using cat litter, I use what they call horse pellets. It's kind of like pine. I guess you call it when you bed your horses down. And it does make the house smell a little bit better. And I took some stuff out, put it in the burning pile. Pick up a few limbs today, but there's no use to pick any limbs up until it's about time to cut the grass. Cause you be out there every other week picking up tree limbs. You know. So what tree limbs that falls during the winter time, I wait until about March, April to pick up tree limbs. Like my ceiling is white, and I just don't like white, you know. Even I don't like to have a car or a truck it is white. I just don't like white. You know, blue, red, green, black, but I don't like white at all. I don't know why. Like on your ceiling, I don't know, it got all the twirls in it, you know, and I don't even like that. I like a, regular roof where you just take your paint roller and just paint it, just like your walls. What I like to do, people, if I had the money, I like to get panel and put panel up on the walls. Or get the boards where you could stick them together and go up your walls. Something like that. Make it look kind of like a log cabin in your house. Maybe cedar panels. But man, that costs money. I guess I'm going to have to turn my heat lamp off. I turn it off during the day because if it's 50s and 60s outside, I don't need a heat lamp on. But it's supposed to drop down to 30s tonight here where I live. Oh, there's a cute cat up on the porch. That might be Boots, because I see white paws. It don't look like it's raining, but I see something blowing out. The leaves could be, I ain't got no leaves on the tree. They're all on the ground. That's one thing I screwed up in 25. Usually I have my grass cut and all the leaves all chopped up. But if I had a ride lawnmower, I wouldn't have any leaves on my ground outside right now. But, you know, I could really use some help. But I asked God to help me out with a new riding lawnmower. But I like to have a zero turn. I know that they cost more money. But a zero turn is about 60 plus inches of mowing your grass. That means, well, let's see. I was watching a movie the other night on TV. Was it Red 1 and Red 2? I think I was watching the other night on TV. You know, I can't wait until Saturday. I like to watch on TV Tour of Duty, which is during the Vietnam time, and Black Sheep, that was during the Japanese time, Pappy Boyington and all this. But I watch any movies. I know when I was married to Foxy Lady, she likes scary movies. And I believe it was either Motel Hell or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Maybe it was Motel Hell, where they use a tractor with an auger on the back of it and dig a hole and plant you in the ground, cut your voice box up, and made hamburger and steaks and all that out of the bodies. That was really a scary show. The ex-wife and me, we couldn't sleep that night. That was so scary. I tell you one thing my ex-wife did to me. We watched Brooke Shields in the Blue Lagoon. And I was talking in my sleep about Brooke Shields. My ex-wife, the Foxy Lady, she beat the crap out of me. Said, who is Brooke Shields? And she forgot we watched the Blue Lagoon that night. Oh, boy, that was weird. I kind of fell in love with Brooke Shields in the Blue Lagoon. I kind of like to, and I like to watch movies about Billy Jack. I like to watch him and Fast and Furious. And TV shows, I like to watch Hogan Heroes. Colonel Klink and them. I've always got my socks on except when I take a bath. I didn't take one. I probably take one Saturday or Sunday, somewhere in there. And other TV shows I like to watch is 12 o'clock high and those B-24s, B-17s with Colonel Gallagher. They dropping bombs on, I think, Germany or places like that. I like shows like that because it's the old black and white TV shows. And I like to watch, well, they don't have F Troop on TV anymore. You know, sometimes I watch on TV police videos, stuff like that. I watch YouTube videos about nurses that works in the hospital. They've been medics in the Navy SEALs and stuff like that. I watch them. HOA. When I watch HOA videos on YouTube, man, the way those HOA treat people. If I had an HOA and they treated me like they do those people, here where I'm going to get in trouble. I would shoot them. I wouldn't put up with the HOA. I know that's terrorized threatening, but that's how I feel about HOA. I'm glad I don't live in the HOA. Because they would have me in prison for murder. I guarantee you they would. Because I wouldn't put up with their bull crap. There's probably people that are lizard people. And how many of you believe in UFOs? People have been kidnapped by UFOs. I believe that. And maybe the UFO people have made it with the women out there, and we got aliens from outer space living as humans. I believe that. Anything's possible. You know, anything's possible, people. You know, anything's possible. I don't think there is any lizard women. There could be. There could be. I'm not. And let's see. Oh Lordy, I went over my time. Oh, I went over an hour, people. So also, I want you all to remember, thank a nurse for their service, because nurses does work hard in a hospital, in the ER, ICU, trauma. So thank a nurse for their service, you know. And thank you all that have subscribed, and give me my watch hours. And I appreciate you all. You're my family, my real family. Because I don't hear from any of my family members. Well, my son's in the other bedroom. He doesn't count. But like my brother or my other kids, they don't come and call me or check up on me. But you all here on YouTube, you're my family. I got family on here like the grandkids on here from other countries. And I appreciate my grandkids. It's on here. So, people, you have a great week. Thank a nurse for their service. Be nice, be respectful, be kind, help out people, because God will reward you. So you all have a great weekend. If I don't come on here tomorrow, since I'm going to make a road trip, it's probably 50 to 60 miles tomorrow. I'm going to be wore out. And I probably will fall asleep. If I'm not on here tomorrow night, I'm probably sleeping. So I love you all. God bless you all. Be respectful to people. And thank all you foxy ladies for being on here tonight. I love you all. Good night.